I think there's a picture in this book. Here you go. See that blob?
Huh?
That's a germ.
Oh.
Some germs are good for you, but bad germs can make you sick. Well, that's your body. Your nose, mouth, stomach. Those are your lungs. When you sneeze or cough, that's your lungs squeezing together and trying to force out the bad germs. Enough biology. Time for you to rest.
George didn't want to rest. He wanted to get rid of his bad germ. If only he knew how. George saw a face. A face he had seen before. In the mirror. It was him. George's mouth was amazing. It was like a giant cave. A cave with an echo. A squishy floor, which was actually his tongue. And best of all, a spaceship. George could find that bad germ and get rid of it. Just as soon as he figured out how to work that spaceship. George was amazed. He didn't know Gnocchi could drive. George knew they were somewhere above his mouth, but where? Fortunately, Gnocchi had discovered a helpful sign. They were in George's nose. And they weren't alone.
You better look out, cause Toots is in town. I'm in your nose.
Achoo, he's in your nose.
I'm in your nose.
Oh yeah, he's in your nose.
I'll make you sniff it out, make you sneeze. You won't be smelling that smelly cheese down to your belly.
Down,
Mosey on down to your belly.
Look out, he's in your belly.
So don't eat a thing, that's my suggestion. Cause I'll be giving you indigestion. Sing it, Jeremy.
Go Toots, go.
Oh, I like the sound of that. Do it again.
Go Toots,
Yeah. I love this place. Better head to your lungs.
Hey Toots, where you going?
To the lungs.
Oh yeah, he's in your lungs.
Well, I'll be making you wheeze and cough. You better take the whole week off. And if you're wondering who to blame,
Don't forget, Toots the name.
cause we'll be making you sweat and squirm. Cause that's our job. Cause we're germs. Yeah. Woo! Cause we're germs.
That's some juicer you've got there.
Second best invention in the world. The first is my tasty health drink.
I know these are delicious, but we should save the rest for later, George. Well, okay, I think that's later enough. Boy, that was tasty. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Huh. Right, let's go. Where'd everybody go?
Everybody packed up and left already. But don't worry, they'll be back next week.
A whole week without juice? What was George going to do?
You know, George, if we had our own juicer, we could make the drink ourselves. There's a kitchen supply store right around the corner. Let's go. Oh, boy. I have no idea how to use this. But when in doubt, read the instructions? I guess there are no instructions. Oh, don't worry. Between a smart man and a smart monkey, we should be able to figure it out. Hello? What? Yeah, I'll be right there. Sorry, George. Professor Weissman needs me at the museum. They're picking a new shade of yellow for the main hall. I'll be back as soon as I can.
George figured a smart monkey all by himself should be able to work this thing. Now, what did Juicy J say he put in that drink?
It's got 5 fruits and vegetables, plus a special secret ingredient.
5 fruits and vegetables, and all of them seem to be red. Apples are red, and peppers, and strawberries, and watermelons. George didn't know what cabbage was, but it was the last red thing in the fridge. 5 red things. Now all George needed was a special ingredient. A red fish? Why not? Okay, so maybe raw fish is not a special juice ingredient.
George, they're here. Okay, I'm glad you're excited.
Look, Hundley, it's your buddy George.
Come on in, guys.
Thanks for letting Hundley spend the night while I'm gone. I brought all of his chew toys and snacks and grooming supplies. Thank you, Hundley. And this is a list of everything Hundley needs and when he needs it.
Oh, that's quite a list.
He's used to doing things in a certain way. This is the first time we've been apart in 3 years, 7 months, and 15 days. I'll pick you up in the morning, just like we talked about. Bye-bye.
Bye. We'll make sure he has a good time.
Being a good host, George showed Hundley to his room. Hundley was used to keeping everything in its proper place. To make him feel welcome, George decided they should play with Hundley's toys. George looked for something fun. But Hundley didn't see any fun in making a mess.
the laundry. Well, look at that. Hundley puts his toys where they belong. Not like some monkeys I know. So, while I do laundry, would you like to feed Hundley, George? According to the list, it's time.
The cup had to be filled to the top line with dry food. Hundley didn't want it above or below the line, but exactly right. Next, add 1/2 cup of water. Hundley had been taught good manners, to be neat, and to chew his food thoroughly. George loved playing outdoors, but lately the weather wasn't cooperating. When he wanted to play ball, it was too windy. When he wanted to fly a kite, it rained.
Hiya, George.
And when he wanted to splash in puddles, it didn't rain enough.
There we go.
George was tired of the weather messing up his fun. Tomorrow, he was going to be ready for anything.
Huh? George, are you all right? Gee, it looks like you're ready for any weather from snow to sunshine. Everything but fog. Huh? I've heard that some animals can instinctively predict the weather. I guess you're not one of them.
If George could become an animal who could predict the weather, it sure would make his life easier.
Do you like it? I call it Red Sky at Night, Sailor's Delight.
Huh?
Oh, There's no sailor, it's just a saying. Sailors learned from watching the sky that if there's a bright red sunset, the next day is usually nice.
If sailors could predict the weather from watching the sky, maybe a little monkey could too. So George decided to draw pictures of all the weather he saw, starting with the red sunset and then the warm sunny day. And he added that he met a cricket. The next morning, George drew the dark clouds that filled the sky. He also drew the cricket again, but drew fewer noise lines because the cricket had less to say on this chilly morning. When it rained in the afternoon, George drew that. So clouds meant rain. These were turning into very useful drawings. The next day, the clouds looked very different.
Hey, George, it looks like a great day. You want to go to the park and have a picnic?
George loved picnics. But he didn't want to get caught in the rain again. And clouds meant rain.
But I thought that... Oh, okay, we can eat here. All done, George? Boy, what a great day, huh?
But there were clouds. It should have been raining. Unless, maybe only dark clouds made rain. Little white clouds didn't. George had canceled a fun picnic for no reason.
Ready as promised.
It was worth living without it for 3 long days. I'd rather carry it myself, George.
You're not gonna wear your hat?
No, I want to keep it perfect till tonight. We're going to the opening of the new planetarium dome. Thanks. Let's get home before anything happens to my perfect clean hat. Well, we made it safely. Okay, now George, when I get back, we're going right to the planetarium, so take a bath. There'll be photographers there. I want you to look clean and fluffy.
George was going to take a bath, just like he was told. It sure was a perfect hat. Who could resist trying it on? George wanted Compass to see him in the yellow hat. It'd only take a second. George saw the hat fly this way, but it disappeared. The hat was back home and still perfect. Almost. George removed the piece of branch as carefully as any surgeon working on any yellow hat could. Okay, there was just a tiny thread there. No problem. Maybe he needed to pull harder. Or maybe it had to be cut off. George had forgotten that the last time he used his safety scissors was to cut his strawberry jam and banana sandwich. It was only a small smudge. All he had to do was clean it off. This stiff brush got the grill sparkling like new every time, and the grill got dirtier than the hat. He may have scrubbed too hard.
When I get back, we're going right to the planetarium.
George had to do something fast.
Oh, hello. Can I help you? Do you want a hat like this one? I have one just like it. But it's exactly the same. Oh, you want a yellow hat? Okay. Well, that's the only yellow hat we have. I'm sorry.
Gnocchi had never seen George look so worried. George showed her the problem, but cats think every wiggling finger is a game. They can't help it. Maybe he didn't need a new yellow hat. Maybe all he needed was something like a yellow hat. Hundley tried not to wonder what George was up to. He really tried. But he had to know. What would make a good hat? Same color? Perfect! Hundley had wanted to see what George was up to, and now he couldn't see anything at all. Good color. Too floppy. Not floppy, but too pointy. Perfect. If he wanted to be the man with the drippy yellow bag hat. The man with the yellow ice cream stick pyramid hat. The man with the yellow blow-up hat. George realized that no hat he made could ever be the man's yellow hat. But the hole didn't look so bad when there was yellow paper inside. That was it. He didn't need a new hat. He needed to patch the hole. The paper looked good, but something made of more hatty material would look better. Something like a yellow sock.
George, did Hundley drop by for a shower, or is one of our towels running away from home? George, where's my hat? Gnocchi, don't touch my clean hat. It has to be perfect for tonight. George, why does my hat have a tail and a hole?
George couldn't believe he didn't think of that.
You see? It looks great. All right, we've got to go. Did you take a bath? Fixed hat, fresh suit, clean monkey. I feel like there's something we forgot to do.
George always liked the sights and sounds of the countryside. The tastes of the countryside were pretty good, too, especially the taste of the Rinkin's homemade honey.
You ready to sample this year's first batch of honey, George?
I packed some homemade bread in here to go with your honey. Enjoy!
If there was anything George liked more than sweet honey, it was eating it with freshly baked bread. But this bee wouldn't let him enjoy his snack. Now, where did it hurry off to? What could be more interesting than bread and honey? George wondered how a flower could move when there was no wind. Touching all the flowers was definitely not as interesting as a bread and honey sandwich. Who'd be mean enough to take a monkey's snack? bear. George had never seen a real live bear wandering around here before. The bee came back. It must have wanted to be friends.
Well, that bee thought you were trying to hurt it, George. Bees sting to protect themselves. Now, just keep ice on that finger for a while and you'll be fine. You want cereal again? You just had it for breakfast. No, George, a bee stung you. A bear didn't bite you. Besides, no one's seen a bear in these woods in over 20 years.
But George was positive he'd seen a real bear.
Hey there, George.
Bill always seemed to know everything. Maybe he'd know about the bear.
Pretty good imitation, George. Did you know no one's seen a bear around here in over 30 years?
George left those bees alone. Why couldn't they leave him alone?
That's just a honeybee, George. Hey, they're going toward my yard. Wow, when did they build that? I gotta get those bees to leave. I don't want them to hurt my bunnies. George? George?
It's a beautiful day, George. Why aren't you outside? Come on, help me water the snapdragons. They're in bloom, see? Afraid of getting stung again, huh? I have to go to the Rankin's place. Maybe you should come along. I bet they can help you.
Hello again, George.
It's us, Mr. and Mrs. Rankins. Oh my, is that the bee sting we heard about?
It's his first. Now he's feeling a little nervous around bees.
Oh, perfectly understandable. That's why you'll like this. Ta-da!
Bees can't sting you when you're wearing this.
You want to see something really neat?
Why, look there.
Don't worry, we're protected.
George, you ever wonder why bees like to crawl inside colorful flowers?
Oh, they're gathering nectar. You can get close and watch.
Now, as the bees get their nectar, their legs transfer a fine substance called pollen from one flower to the next.
It helps more flowers to grow in the future.
Here at the hive, the nectar turns into the bees' food supply. Can you guess what it's called, George?
Honey, George. The same honey you like on your bread.
The bees make more than they can eat. That's where we get it. Here's another jar for you. Enjoy.
George was amazed something so tasty came from something he'd been afraid of. He wanted to say thanks.
Not too close, George. Bees will get angry if you disturb their hive.
I'm staying to help with the hives, George. I'll be home soon.
my bee suit. Maximum protection. Come on! I jump on this plank to launch these mud balls. They knock the hive loose, it falls in the can, then I take it to Mr. Rankin's. Yeah, it's not the proper way to remove a hive, but I need to act fast before bunnies get stung.
George knew Bill's plan was going to make the bees mad.
Now, Bill, you know there's a proper way to remove a hive.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get those bunnies somewhere safe and call professional bee removers, huh? Did you have fun helping the Pescettis today?
The nervous chef cooked what he thought were his Giardino burgers.
Yeah. Ooh. I hope you all like them.
I've never had a meatless burger before.
I don't think they're perfect, Nettie. I'm finished. Finito. Never is when I will ever cook ever again. Never.
How could this happen?
I think something happened to those patties, something monkey-oriented.
Ah, I see. His recipe was perfect. How can I prove it? Everyone, follow me. Here is the chef's perfect recipe. No, that is not the recipe, George. That is chef's plan for expanding our garden. Ah, George, did you make burger patties from this? Okay, we start over. Garbanzo beans, mashed. We don't do that by hand. Tomato, diced.
George helped follow the recipe and even remembered something the chef forgot last time.
What can I be if I'm not the chef? All I know is cooking. Nettie! 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 There are fire trucks outside. Is everything okay?
It's more than okay. It's delicious.
What's going on here?
George is telling you that he made the other burgers, not you.
Oh, Nettie, you can understand Giorgio?
No. What's important is that these were made from your recipe.
Chef Pescetti, this is the best vegetarian burger I've ever had.
Wait a minute, I thought you said you never had one before.
Yeah, so it's the best one I've ever had.
Excuse me, is this yours? Has your picture on it. Ooh, woo, something sure smells good in here.
My Giardino burgers. Oh, I'm so happy I may cry.
Whoa, chefs sure are emotional, huh?
Well, anybody want seconds?
The bunnies were too fast. George would have to outthink them. One down, 6 to go. Lucky for George, bunnies are too young to know about footprints. It takes more than a superior brain to outthink bunnies. It helps to be wearing a cap. Three down, 4 to go. Squirrels don't like surprises, not even small ones. He counted the bowls. He'd caught Whitey, Spotty, Black Ears, Cottontail, Brownie, and a jumpy squirrel. Add being grabbed by a monkey to the list of surprises that squirrels really don't like. Not all footprints lead to cute little bunnies.
Hi, George. What you doing?
Bill was almost done. George's time was running out. George had caught every bunny except Herbert Ninninger, and Bill would be home soon. George had looked everywhere. What he needed was a bunny expert, but who knew a lot about bunnies? It wasn't going to work. George tried to explain this was no time to play with a fuzzball. She had to find Herbert Ninninger. This was no ordinary fuzz. This was the end of Herbert Ninninger.
Hey, George. keeping the bunnies company? Thanks. As a reward for doing that and being so patient, I'm gonna let you pet one right now. Petting a bunny isn't easy. It's all about maintaining control. Step 1, unlock latch. But you want to pet a bunny, don't you? Okay, you sure are one careful kid. Hey, how'd that acorn get in there?
One of George's favorite things about being in the country was running his own railroad.
Hello? Oh, hi, Bill.
The Kite Flyers convention just ended. I'm going to be coming home on the number 7 train.
Okay. What time will your train arrive at the station?
The number 7 arrives home at exactly 3 o'clock.
All right, I'll be there. Bye-bye. George, you wouldn't want to bother coming to the train station to pick Bill up, would you? It's too early to go now. His train won't arrive for hours. Oh, I'll show you how it works. This is the train Bill will be on. This is you and me. Even if we're at the train station, we have to wait until 3 o'clock for Bill's train to get from there to here. Okay. We can go to the station early and you'll see how it really works.
This was exciting. George had never been to the train station before.
Well, hey there, young fellas. Taking a trip, are you? I recommend traveling by boat.
Oh, we're not traveling. George wants to see how trains run.
Well, would you like to see it from inside the station's very nerve center?
Are we allowed up there?
Well, of course. My brother's the station master. I'm bringing his lunch. Hey, Flint.
Hey, Clint.
Meet my mates, George and...
Why, you're the man with the yellow hat. I see you in town from up here 'cause you stick out like a big yellow thing sticking out.
Yeah. Well, this particular little monkey wants to see how real trains run.
Yeah. Well, I'm the station master. From here, I watch every train on the line. It's important for me to track every train to keep them on schedule. There now, see that? The number 1 train's supposed to get here first. Number 2 second, 3 third. It's simple. Exactly. I have to get that number 1 ahead of the number 2. Number 2, I'm switching you to the right-of-way so number 1 can pass.
Okay, station master.
So I've got to switch the tracks to move it ahead.
George saw exactly how Station Master Flint did his job.
Time for the number 1 to come into the station. See now? Follow me. And there's the number 1 right on time. Now you know enough to run the railroad yourself. Lunch break.
No, thanks.
Great Northern Railroad. Are you trying to cheat me, Clint?
Oh, trim your sails there, Flint. What's your beef?
Yours is big. Mine's all small on the ends like something with small ends.
Well, I cut 'em in half, and a half is a half.
I'll make a new one and show you you're as wrong as pants on a trout. You be judge, so it's fair.
Shouldn't someone be running the railroad?
Oh, it's okay. I always stretch my legs at lunch. Anything unusual happens, this warning bell rings. George can stay. He can't harm anything.
Remember, be a good little monkey. Oh.
Hi, guys. Oh, you're looking good, George. Well, at least the right half of you is. I guess someone's due for half a bath.
I wish, but George won't take a bath anymore. I don't get it.
Maybe George feels he's getting too old for a bath.
Of course, that's it. My little monkey is growing up. Now I know exactly what to do. Come on, George, we're going in. Oh, thanks, Professor Wiseman. You're a genius.
Well, yeah.
I understand your problem with baths now, George. And I agree. It's time for you to start taking showers. Turn on the water, George, and see what happens. Oh. George. George. Okay. Won't take baths, won't take showers. I need to take a walk and not think about any problems for a while.
But sometimes, not thinking about something is harder than you think. Bubbles. Maybe, somehow, Springy was nearby.
Hi, Betsy. Hi, Steve.
Hello.
Betsy made pretty good bubbles, but she was no plastic frog.
Hey, George, we're washing dogs to make money. Want to help?
Yeah, George, why don't you help? There's soap and water and bubbles and soap.
Great. George can help me make bubbles to attract dirty customers.
George figured the triangle bubble maker was broken. But a square bubble would be just as good.
They fooled me the first time I tried them, too.
It doesn't matter what shape bubble maker you use. They'll always turn out round.
All this bubble making made George miss Springy even more.
Sharky, you're more mud than dog. Hey, George, would you help me? Could you wash Sharky's ball?
Don't be shy about getting some of that clean water on yourself.
Of course. The park. The mud. Sharky!
No, 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 you're getting dirtier. George, slow down. Okay, I'll meet you back home. Wow. You beat me home. Why were we racing? George, you're taking a bath? Okay then, enjoy. Wow. I wonder what that was all about.
A bath just wouldn't be a bath without Bubbles and Sprongy.